What's up, Internet? My name's Nerdy.
And I'm Clarus.
And this is Andor, Episode 9. Episode 9s traditionally never divide the fan base.
No, gosh, no, never. What could possibly be?
There's no schism here over Episode 9s. When last we left off, everything was awful.
Yeah.
Bix is about to be interrogated. Andor's in prison.
For 6 years.
Mon Mothma's marriage is the worst marriage maybe ever. It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Her marriage isn't the worst ever. He's not physically abusive.
No, he just sucks. There's no love. They're just stuck.
This Perrin is as unlike our Perrin from Wheel of Time as possible.
Wow.
It's just weird that they're both named Perrin.
I didn't know his name was Perrin.
Yeah, we talk about Perrins a lot in this room.
In this house.
Our new house. Y'all, if you want the full interaction to this, go over to patreon.com/nerdynightly and get your eyeballs on that. But for now, let's get into Nobody's Listening, which we know is a lie because it's the Empire. Somebody is listening.
Yeah, Santa Claus exists. He sees you when you're sleeping
and Star Wars?
knows when you awake. Probably. Why not?
He gets all the way around the galaxy in one night.
They celebrate Christmas in the Christmas specials.
They do not.
Don't they?
No, they celebrate Life Day. November 17th. It's coming up, y'all.
I thought the Wookiees celebrated Life Day.
It's kind of become, yeah. Mm-hmm. Initially.
Suspicious.
All right, here we go. Everything is awful. Everything is bad in the Andor show.
Except the writing. The writing's great.
Except the writing and the acting and the set design and the costume design and the sound design.
The show is great. The world would
It's just hard to watch.
Yeah, it's rough.
Mm-hmm. They've done a really good job making me care about these people.
Yeah.
The quick thing is to assume that everything you've dragged to shore is a fish. But I take a more nuanced view.
I'm not like the other guys.
Park attended a separatist meeting 2 years ago in Jondora where he met a woman who suggested that if he was serious about politics, he might like to act as liaison for Ferrix when he returned home. He was sent the fractal radio unit you used yesterday afternoon.
Oh no, they know everything.
Now, I would prefer a conversation rather than put Dr. Gorst back to work. But that, for the moment, is entirely up to you.
She's incredible. Like, she's giving an incredible performance.
I know, like, I'm terrified of her.
I hope we get to see her in a movie next that she's just, like, bubbly and fun.
The very worst thing you can do right now is bore me.
She's terrifying.
So uncomfortable right now.
So what happened to the serum that they gave Leia to make her tell the truth?
It didn't work. She was resistant to it. That's also 6 years from now, or 5 years from now.
You are the next man out. You are the shortest of the short. Buildup is going home.
You man for them today?
You know the drill.
The restraints are nothing to be feared. It's much safer for you to be tethered as we engage. We've had some early trials that were a bit chaotic.
Oh my god, I hate him so much.
He's already the worst.
They make a sound as they die, a sort of agonized pleading. We've taken the recordings and modified them slightly. Found a section of what we believe are primarily children.
I'm sorry, he's gonna play her the screams of children dying?
Yes, that is correct.
Jesus Christ.
It's repeat listenings that cause the most damage. Are we ready?
I'm not. That was awful.
Wow.
That was terrible. Yeah. Oof. Okay. Bix is incredible, though. She's had such little dialogue this episode, and she's just crushing it.
Yeah.
What?
New man on the floor. Everyone hold positions.
He's touching the rail. Believe me now, the elevator's not wide. Nothing that moves can fry you.
What can fry you?
Nothing that moves can fry you. They're already on it. That's cool.
Yeah.
What sound could like? Oh,
I know.
I can't even imagine.
Last time you spoke with Cassian Andor.
And that's why it's so scary, right? Like them not showing it.
Yeah. It's leaving it up to our imagination makes it so much worse.
Yeah.
And salmon pot?
I don't care.
I'd like to hang him. What's left of him, anyway. Make sure they know who's in charge.
As you wish.
The Public Order Resentencing Directive is the next step on an all-too predictable march toward complete, unchallenged authority.
She
speaks the truth!
Yeah. She's got a rough job.
They called from the residence. Your cousin, she's arrived.
What?
Who's Mon Mothma's cousin?
How many hands does it take for one word to get through up here?
It's a long way, Kino, yes, but you've got to... Stand in place, on program. Feet down, face front, hands on heads.
Oh, man.
Compliance, or we will begin activating floors without warning. Bridges on program will have their doors open. All shift.
Oh. This show is so... Like, I am on edge right now.
Yeah.
I'm, like, physically tense.
Yeah. Yeah, they're really good at the yeah, wow.
Aunt Belle's been to Tassia Moon. Look what she brought me.
Your father may have an opinion. We'll see if he lets you wear it.
He lets me do anything I want.
What? What?
Where have you been?
Oh my, wow.
The rebellion comes first. We take what's left. You're one to worry about. Trapped here, boxed in.
Please tell me you're being careful.
Things are happening. There's risk.
Things are happening.
Things are happening.
They don't need to care. All they need to do is turn this floor on twice a day and keep their numbers rolling. Melch is right. We're cheaper than droids and easier to replace.
Oof.
How many guards on each level?
We're cheaper than droids and easier to replace. Every time I see their like bunks, I can't help but feel like that is how Apple would design like a college dorm.
I hate that.
Without like the torture devices, obviously, but it just looks like they're living inside of an iPhone.
Yeah.
And 2 soldiers from the garrison who got a look at him felt there was some similarity to our reference picture.
Well, that's worth running down. An Aldani connection would certainly amplify interest. Let's follow that up.
Oh no, this is bad. That's that Andor. It's all bad.
Yeah, well.
What happened on to... Yeah.
They set them all free.
Kino! Program! Kino!
Oh my god.
Hold your program! Tighten up and listen! It's just another day, another shift. So let's keep our mouths shut, keep our heads down.
Andy Serkis is out here like, you know what? I've always wanted an Emmy. How does one acquire an Emmy? God damn, dude.
Yeah.
He just has so much gravitas. It's crazy.
I know.
Been searching my room again.
It's called cleaning. I like a tidy house.
He likes cereal. More than I do, unless it's Captain Crunch. But then my mouth is cut up. It's tough.
I know, but it tastes so good.
I prepare 2 meals a day. I move mountains to scrape you off the floor and put you back on your feet. And what do I reap? What is the return on my investment?
The return on my investment. Whoop. I have an ex this is her mom. And I can't divorce the two of them in my head.
Yeah.
And it's so funny to me, but I feel bad.
I hate it.
I don't think that old man makes it out of this episode.
I know.
I just feel like one more fry and he's done, even at the lowest level.
I know. Every time I'm so anxious.
At least you've not gone political, Val. All the interesting people are getting very tedious these days.
No one ever calls me tedious.
Be a spoiled rich girl for a while. Remind people that's who you are.
I'll try. We've chosen a side. We're fighting against the dark. We're making something of our lives.
Wow.
Yeah.
When she dies, and she's gonna die, it's going to make everything Mon Mothma does in the original trilogy mean so much more to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
This show's great. This show's so good. I kind of I'm not enjoying watching this right now, but I'm in love with everything about it.
Yeah, I feel that.
Is he just stalking Deidre now?
Maybe.
Yep, he is.
Are you stalking me?
I know you work here, and I come sometimes to see if I'll see you.
What?
Do you have any idea how much trouble you're in right now?
I thought I had ruined my life. Just being in your presence,
Cyril.
Living, I realized that if nothing else, there was justice and beauty in the galaxy, and if it just kept going.
I could have you arrested. You're aware of that.
I want what you want. I sense it. I know it.
You're out of your mind.
Yep.
Wow.
I
Dude.
was not expecting.
Somewhere Cyril Karn is on Twitter just loving everything Elon Musk is doing.
Well done.
Thank you.
Get Dr. Gorst. Send him out there immediately.
I already did. He's on his way. Do you want to go?
Yes. No, there's no time. I'll interrogate remotely. Good work. Go.
Something about Deidre just has every little white boy around her being like, I'm working so hard for you, mistress.
Yeah.
Darvo Skulden here. You must be joking.
I pushed back, but
You gotta get in bed with some interesting fellows when you start a rebellion.
I guess so.
Oh, Mon Mothma, you...
We've got a rebel pilot in custody, one of Anto Krieger's group. He was picked up at a customs check. We don't think Krieger knows he's gone missing yet.
Have the pilot found dead in the cockpit. What would happen?
they'd have to find it, but...
Make it so top priority, quickly and carefully we leave no trace.
They are doing such a good job of making the Empire so,
scary.
But not just scary, but, truly competent.
Yes.
In a way that... there's so many jokes about stormtroopers and blasters from the original trilogy.
Yes.
And this is taking the Empire to, a really dark place in how smart they are.
But that intelligence is what makes it genuinely scary, right?
Oh, it's awesome.
And it's fascinating.
This is scarier to me than Darth Vader or Palpatine.
Yeah.
Right?
Table 1 in the box.
Olaf?
Come on, let's get this done.
Oh my god, they have to watch them get fried? Oh, this is fucking awful.
Olaf, look at me. Almost there.
Enough. He's having a heart attack. What do you mean, enough?
Olaf! Wait, come on! Keep moving! Keep moving!
What?
Hang in there, Olaf. You've only got a few shifts left, and you're going home.
On program.
Is the medic also a prisoner?
Yeah.
Interesting.
He's got 40 shifts left. So we just want something to get him through the next few days. Get him back on his feet.
That's another option. He's had a massive stroke.
He's lucky. He'll pass peacefully, which is more than I can say for the rest of us.
Oh, man.
He'll feel nothing.
Oh.
What do you mean? keep my men in line. What happened down on 2?
They made a mistake. A man who was just released on 4 ended up back on 2 the next day. Word got out on the floor, and then they killed them all. No one's getting out, are they? Not now. Not after this.
Hands on your heads. Move. Let's go. Come on, let's go.
God damn it.
How many guards on each level?
Never more than 12.
Oh! Oh!
I mean,
let's go! Wednesday's going to be off the chain.
you think that they're gonna like do the escape on Wednesday?
I don't know if they're gonna do it, but whatever happens in episode 10 must be wild. You don't give Andy Serkis that face and then follow it up with a boring episode of television.
That is true. That is true.
Wow. Never more than 12 kids. Wow.
So what did they think? They think that they thought that they could take someone from a different floor and put him on another floor and that nobody would notice?
I don't know.
Because instead of losing one worker, they lost 100.
I don't know. I'm not sure I fully... I think that he got out and then he got sent back.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He got out, and then they put him back on a different floor.
Or maybe...
And he didn't expect people to be upset about it?
Maybe he was let out early by accident. I don't know.
I don't know. It just seems weird to me.
Yeah, but, like, can you imagine the uprising if people thought they weren't getting out?
Well, and I'm sure exactly what happened. And they all died.
The show is... That was one of the more, like... palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy episodes of television I think I've ever watched in my life. You know what I mean?
The show is just really good at that.
But it wasn't at the beginning. Like, there was fun. The show had some bright moments.
Sure, bright moments, but like I feel like consistently every episode has had me on the edge of my seat, and the tension is like you can feel it in the air.
100%. I think that like there was more the characters were in different places, and so there was hope in some of the storylines, and like the show kind of feels like a fist that's slowly closing, and we're past the point where anyone can breathe. And like that is not a complaint. That is not a bad thing. I think it is immaculately done.
Yeah, it's intentional for sure.
I have so few things in the show that I think haven't worked since episode 3. I think the first 2 episodes are pure, like set up in a way that like you need to get to this point.
Yeah.
But since like 4 to 9 to me, other than the weird time jump in 7, where I was like that just it didn't flow very well for me.
Yeah.
Other than that one thing, from 4 to 9, I think this is some of the best television of the year.
Oh yeah, 100%. We've started off like good. Like episodes 1 to 3 was good. I was like,
yeah,
all right, cool. I'm into it. Let's go. And it's just gotten better and better and better.
Really, since 3, I think 3 to now, I would say the first 2 episodes were both. I really wish they'd started off with like a 90-minute like one-off.
Yeah,
and just like
I agree.
barreled through that, but I love Bix. I love Deidre as a character. I hate her, obviously, right? She's so evil, but you know, you want your villains to be so bad that they make your heroes more heroic, right? And I think that they're not pulling any punches with Deidre.
No.
They are really like doubling down on her. Every chance they have to pull back, every chance they have to show a soft side to her, it's a lie or they don't, right?
Or it doesn't exist.
And so I think that by creating this villain who is as evil as you can be without being an evil wizard Palpatine, you know what I mean? Like it's just beautiful.
She's a believable evil, right? Palpatine is like a mustache twirling villain. Yeah. Right, and she's a human being.
Because Palpatine can't exist in real life.
Yeah.
Right, like a Palpatine can't exist. There just isn't that. But Deidre does exist. Right, there are some Deidres out in the world right now, and I don't remember the actress's name off the top of my head, but I just think her performance, Andy Serkis' performance as Kino, like truly Emmy worthy. I think that what's so fascinating about the show is almost that Diego Luna as the lead of the show is given the least to do. He's like, he's holding together a show of like these stars shining brightly around him. And I'm really hoping as we get into the end of the show, he gets those big moments.
Yeah.
Because I feel like he hasn't really kind of at all. In the first arc, like Stellan Skarsgård really stole the show.
Yeah.
And in the second arc, we had Vel, I think, and the two I don't remember either of their names, but the two black men who were in that party.
Oh yeah.
I felt like their performances really stood like ahead.
Yeah.
Particularly the lieutenant. I thought his performance was just so incredible.
Yeah.
And
Amazing.
then going into this third chunk, like Andy Serkis shows up and Deidre really becomes this like leading force in terms of the acting. And so I'm hoping that as we get towards the end of the show, there is more standout beats for Cassian.
Yeah, although I like, as kind of a counterpoint, I think that one of the strengths of this show is really that it is an ensemble show.
More so than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Oh, me too. I thought it was going to like be about Cassian and just Cassian, right? But it is so much more than that, and everybody brings their own piece to the puzzle, and it fits together so well. You know, we have a lot. There's a lot of shows where you have your lead, and it's not an ensemble show. The Mandalorian is not. Boba Fett was like a little bit more so, but even still not really. Obi-Wan was not. Like, in terms of at least, like, Star Wars stuff, we always have a protagonist, and this is, especially in terms of the rebellion as a whole, I think is the best way to represent it, because the rebellion is an ensemble. It can't just be one person. It's impossible, right? Everybody has to band together. It has to be people, it has to be family, it has to be friends, it has to be cities, planets, like whatever the scale of that is. And you know, it is really difficult to show on such a large scale in terms of like, you know, an entire planet. But this, it takes that down to a certain scale that is digestible and easy to work into a story that we can relate to, right?
Oh, sure. Just the show is called Andor. And so
Yes.
I'm just waiting for the storyline that really convinces me that this is his story.
And honestly, we might not get that until next season.
Oh, fair. And like the show is so good that like I'm not it's not a complaint. I just know that Diego Luna.
Yeah.
I think that Diego Luna has so much gravitas in Rogue One.
Oh, he has so much to offer.
And I'm just there isn't a lot of development for Andor in this show.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
but weren't they gonna go with 5 seasons?
I don't know. Like, who
that
knows?
was the rumor?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I think there was, and then there was 3, and then I don't know what they're making. Cool. I don't want to read into that. I want to read into what we have.
Yeah.
And I just, in terms of developing Andor, it feels like Diego Luna is so talented, and he's such a good actor. The character of Cassian Andor is so consistent. In that he is always just he's always scurrying at the problem right at hand. That I'm not feeling him growing or changing.
Right.
Like the Andor in this episode is the same as the Andor in episode 3.
Yeah.
And so that's what that's the thing that I'm waiting for, because Andy Serkis in 3 episodes has had or in 2 episodes, sorry, has had this very crazy arc for Kino.
We have to get Andor from here to Rogue One.
But Andor, I haven't seen Andor change in any way or become any different. And this goes back to what I said early on in our reactions, where I said I wish that they'd started Andor further back in his development, where he comes into the show fully realizing his abilities and what he's able to do. That he's so good already at being a thief from the Empire. He's already a spy. He just doesn't believe. And like the only character growth they kind of left him is believing in the rebellion. And so I wish they'd started him further back so that we could see him have more of a journey like a lot of the other characters on the show are having.
Yeah,
that's just one. That's the small thing for me right now.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that we get that at the end of the season, right? Like I'm hoping that all of this will lead to. I'm assuming they get out of prison next episode, and then I think that there's going to be a confrontation between Andor, Luthen, Vel in the final 2 episodes. And I think that the final 2 episodes won't be Andor v Empire. I think it'll be Andor v Rebellion, as he proves that they shouldn't kill him and that they should let him in.
Right.
And so I think that moment is coming.
Yeah.
It is just that there are these performances going on in the show that are doing more of the work of acting right now than I think Diego Luna has been given in the writing.
I think that Luthen might die like vouching for Andor.
We'll see. Yeah. I'm so worried about Saw Gerrera now. Actually, no, because he said no to the Anton Krieger job. So he's probably going to be fine. But
yeah.
And I'm so worried about everyone.
We know that we've seen him die. We know where his story goes.
So Vel being Mothma's cousin, huh?
Yeah.
That's crazy. That was
cool.
That was wild.
Yeah.
But it makes sense. It makes so much sense.
Yeah.
And it's such a good beat, and she's great.
Oh my god. Yeah, she's amazing. I love the moment where it's like, play it being the spoiled rich girl just for a moment.
Well,
so that people remember.
But that's also what's when Vel and Cinta were sitting in the cafe on Ferrix. She's like, "What? Who did you tell them that you were?" And she's like, "Maybe I'll tell them I'm a spoiled rich girl."
Yeah.
And Vel was like, "Okay, that's cold." And I was like, "Is Vel rich?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, Vel is rich. Vel is wealthy."
Yep.
Very cool. Mon Mothma, God.
Those outfits are all.
I love that the only thing that makes her daughter smile is a new dress. Her daughter's very like. Meh.
I've been there.
Yeah, I've been there too. When you just have to spend too much time with your mom and you're like, but clothes though.
Yeah. You got to find the things that make you happy. And God, what joys do they have?
Yeah, being a politician seems awful.
Yeah.
I just can't imagine doing that with my life. It's so important. And the people who do it are so important, right? Please, if you're in the States, go vote.
Yeah, please.
Tuesday, so go vote. I would vote, but I don't live in the States anymore, so I don't have a state representative anymore.
Yeah.
But go, just whoever you vote for, whatever you believe, just go vote. I think that 60% of people vote in the midterms. That's ridiculous. It should be 95. Go vote.
Hey, there's been a lot more registration.
We'll see.
So
midterms are always lower than presidential elections.
Sure. I just mean.
Cyril Karn is an incel.
Yeah.
I did not think that was where this was going.
I definitely had those vibes from the beginning.
I didn't. I had more. This is going to be such a terrible comparison, but I had more Andrew Tate wannabe than Reddit incel wannabe. Do you know what I mean? I thought he was going to be more pomp and circumstance, but instead he's so fucking pathetic.
Yeah. Yeah, he really is.
He's the most limp noodle because he's all fake backbone. Which is just the saddest way to be.
Yeah. Ugh, gross.
Deidre could have been get down on your knees and lick my boots, and he would have been yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
This is gonna sound strange because Deidre's the worst.
Mm-hmm.
But don't stalk women.
Yeah.
Don't stand outside of where they work. I don't really care.
Yeah.
I'm not advocating for Deidre in any way, but don't do that. Just in general.
It's fucking weird.
Don't stalk women.
Yeah.
And don't grab them by the arm when they're trying to get past you.
Yeah, you would think it wouldn't need to be said.
I have a feeling that she's gonna be God damn it, I can use this guy.
No, she's gonna use him.
Yeah.
She's absolutely going to use him because when you're in that position, you need people who are loyal to you and you alone, right? And manipulating someone's feelings about you is a pretty easy way to get them to do what you want.
Yeah. I just want Deidre to meet his mom and be like, oh, you feel this way about me because you have a weird thing with your mother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was...
Remember in the beginning, I was like, oh, Cyril Karn might turn towards the rebellion.
No, fuck no.
Nah, I read that one wrong.
I thought it was possible, but yeah, no, that's not where this is headed.
Well, I didn't know where they were going with him. I thought because there is that kind of rebel who gets so upset when they feel like they're doing the right thing that they lose faith in the Empire.
Yeah, totally.
That's not what happened, and so he's
no.
He scares me because he is the kind of guy that you're willing to do anything, and that's bad. That's not a good place. This show is a lot about real life.
It's because it's he believes that what is right and what is wrong so strongly that it does not matter the circumstance or the consequences of getting in the way of that.
Yeah.
He's true lawful.
Yeah.
And I hate it.
Yes.
Yeah, terrifying.
It's interesting because it goes back to our conversation about Galad that we were having on the book club on Friday, where I was saying there's no such thing as lawful good if you are in a
large organization.
Talking about D&D morality, right? There's no such thing as lawful good for a character who is not at the head of their organization. or who does not follow like a paladin who follows a god who is truly benevolently good. It is impossible to, if you are 100% lawful, it is impossible to be good if you are in a structure. And this is where like there's a lot of political back and forth about the idea of all cops are bastards, right? But this is where it comes from, is the idea that like you can be a good cop, but as long as you are instituting the rules and laws of of a structure that is not benevolent and is not good and is not doing the best for everybody, it is impossible for good police work to happen because the structure is inherently corrupt, right?
Yeah.
And so the weird thing about Cyril is that I do actually think that Cyril wants the best for the universe, right? I do believe that. I think that he is, if he had a different boss in a different galaxy, I think the same person would be a force for good. But Cyril is completely void of any like personal thought, and like he doesn't bring anything to the table except I'm going to follow the law. So if the laws were all good and the laws were all benevolent, I think that Cyril could be a force for good, even though he's basically useless as a person.
He's made it his personality.
Because he doesn't have any personality, right? But he doesn't have any personality of his own.
No, he's made this thing his personality, yeah.
The problem is that because he's 100% lawful under the Empire, he is as evil as the Emperor.
Yeah.
Right? And same with Deidre, and same with everyone at the ISB. Like, even Wolf Yularen, who I love. You know, I love Wolf in the Clone Wars, but like, later on in life, not a good dude, right? Like, it's kind of one of those tough things about Star Wars, is like loving the Admiral on the Clone Wars, and then be like, oh yeah, he also goes on to be one of the worst people ever. But, you know, like, you cannot be lawful. There is no such thing as a good Nazi. Right?
No.
Like the idea that like, oh well, like there were people on the front line who just didn't know. They knew, and like you can't be good in that structure. And maybe this is a fucking fly. Maybe that's more political than I should get. But Andor is a fucking political show, and if you don't think it is, get your ears checked. You didn't listen or watch.
Yeah. It's very clearly.
This show is political, and its politics align with mine. The prison industrial complex is garbage, and America needs help. Please vote on Tuesday.
I think that's.
I think you can tell who I want you to vote for. Please vote.
That's the tagline.
On Tuesday, just if you're in Michigan, please vote for Whitmer. I'm not. Yeah, if you're in Arizona, just don't vote for that lady. You know who I'm talking about.
That lady.
I don't even know her name, but like, just don't vote for her. Fuck. Things are awesome. Except they're not. This show is hard to watch because we're going into the midterms on Tuesday, and like this episode was particularly difficult for me because of that. I'm gonna be honest, I was trying not to talk about it, but fuck it, this is my YouTube channel. If you want to unsubscribe. I really don't give a shit.
Yeah.
We need people who are not fascists to run our government. Otherwise, we end up looking like the fucking Empire from Star Wars, which was modeled after the American government. Please vote on Tuesday.
That's my favorite tweet that goes around, is that when they're like, you don't realize that that the original Star Wars was a allegory for, I think it's like Vietnam, and someone's like, that's not possible unless America is the Empire. It's like
you were so close.
My friend.
My brother in Christ.
My friend.
You were so close.
Yeah, so close.
Yeah. Sorry, this got a little bit more political at the end, but it's an episode of Andor, so what did you expect?
This, exactly.
Nobody's listening, but please go vote on Tuesday.
Yeah.
If you're in the United States. If you live elsewhere, like, you're probably like, what are you talking about? Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I'm in Canada, so I'm like, all right. How's it going down there? Ooh.
Not great.
Yeah, I'm just gonna...
It's not great. Cool. I'm glad I moved back. And yet I can't vote in the elections anymore, but my stress levels about them haven't changed. Isn't that fun?
I love that for you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's great. It's great.
Well, thanks for being here.
I cannot wait for the comments on this YouTube video.
Oh, it's gonna be great.
If you like this video, like and subscribe to the channel. If you dislike this video, and some of you will after the last 3 minutes of it, hit that dislike button. Leave mean comments down below because the algorithm god is hungry and we must feed her. The algorithm goddess this week is Vel, because that was shocking.
That was great. That was such a good moment.
Shocking.
And well played.
Never more than 12 kids. I'll see you on Wednesday for whatever the hell episode 10 of this is.
Bye.
Bye.